Okay, thank you very much. I'm joined by City Councilor, my friend of Ward 1, Adam Gomez. Also joined by neighborhood leaders, Jose Claudio from the New North Citizens Council, and former school committeeman Norm Roland is also here. Principal Escribano, did I say that correctly? Escribano, who's done a tremendous job down here at Gerena School. Our superintendent, Dan Warwick. Our Director of Parks and Facilities Management, Pat Sullivan.
Thanks, Mayor.
Minnie Marrero, who is my liaison, especially to this area of the North End. And I apologize, the gentleman there. Alberto, okay.
Carmelo.
Yeah, Carmelo's got the lion's head there. Okay, I want to make sure. We wanted to call a press conference pertaining to the situation of the Gerena Tunnel. As you know, the history of this school, this was built back in the 70s during urban renewal. And for many, many years, people had indicated that the water issue here was matriculating from ground level up. Well, through the hard work of Pat Sullivan and his team and Superintendent Warwick, we have found that the water is really coming from up top. Bernie Avenue Bridge, the membrane, which is all state controlled. Now we have there is a bond. We have sent numerous communications from my office to State Representative Cheryl Coakley Revere when she was state rep and pushed for this. State Representative Carlos Gonzalez, Senator Jim Welch, who are working with us to try to get that money released. I've sent correspondence to Governor Baker. My administration has invested, I believe, $4.7 million in improvements of the tunnels that have occurred here. You recently saw the indoor playground that we did a few years ago. This bond that we're looking to get the money released is $3 million, which would address that membrane activity that's above us on Bernie Avenue, where the water is matriculating. As you see some of the damage that is done, and you have a full history here, full history. So the residents of this area and the students, which deserve nothing than the best down here, know the true story of what this administration has done and what we continue to do and the history of this tunnel. And we're all on the same page with the advocates. We want improvement of this tunnel, but it is paramount that that bond money is released. And again, we will continue to ask and rely on State Representative Gonzalez and Senator Welch to continue to press Governor Baker and his administration to release that money. There's also been statements made about the EPA. We work very closely with the EPA. Director Sullivan, Pat, had a very good meeting with the EPA. We have reduced asthma rates down here of all the work that we've done, which we're very, very happy on that. And I also am going to have a community meeting, I believe it's June 1st at 6 p.m., right down here in the cafeteria, so we can look eye to eye to the residents down in the North End and tell them exactly the facts. And that's extremely important moving forward. The EPA is working hand in hand with us. They are very pleased with the efforts we're making here. But I think what's holding us back a bit is the release of that $3 million bond from the state. And that will allow us to address their issue of water permeating through the membrane of Bernie Avenue above us here. Then we can, why would you throw good money after bad money and just paint over things and the water is going to continue to come down? I'm not looking to hide any problems. My administration has been an administration that solves problems. So I want to get that clarified loud and clear. Now, former school committeeman Norm Roland, before he got on the school committee, then was elected, worked very well in my administration, and we pumped in $2 million on this. There was always a concern for the area here. And that will continue in working with neighborhood activists such as Jose Claudio and Ward 1 City Councilor Adam Gomez. But let me clarify again, this administration has stepped up to the plate to continue to improve Gerena School, and we will continue to do that. We need the partnership, the collaboration, and the release of that money from the state in order for us to do the rest of the work that we have to do. That is their responsibility, not the city's responsibility. In the meantime, my people in the North End have to deal with this. So, facts. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but you got to get the facts. The facts are right there of what my administration has done and what they will continue to do moving forward. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Superintendent Warwick, and then Pat Sullivan, and then I'll have a few words from City Councilor Adam Gomez. Madam Principal, if you'd like to say a few words too, and we're all on the same page here, and to the advocate groups, you can hear me loud and clear. We're all on the same page, but you need to hear the facts, not rumors, innuendos, or finger pointing. That's not my style. My style is about getting the job done. So we'll turn it over to Superintendent Warwick.
Thank you, Mayor. It's been a pleasure to work for Mayor Sarno, because we put a lot of money and invested it back to our schools. And no school have we invested more in than Gerena School. And through the improvements we've made, working with the neighborhood council, with Norm Roldan, Jose, Adam Gomez, now the city councilor, we made many, many improvements down here. But we do rely on the state now to do their part, because it doesn't make any sense to repair this until we can get the roof infrastructure fixed by the state. But the investments we've made over $4 million. And I'd like to go back with Pat Sullivan. We've made sure we've improved the air quality upstairs significantly. It conforms to all of the standards, and the asthma rates have gone down here exponentially. So we've invested a lot in the school. We're committed to this school. We have a tremendous principal here who's doing a great job. The school came out of level 4 under Cindy and the team down here, made incredible academic gains.
Good job.
Monumental. And we're going to continue to invest in this school, and we're going to continue to move this school forward. We just have to do it in a strategic way. And I think the criticism here has been unfair given the amount of expenditures we've had down here and the efforts everyone put into it. But we are completely committed to continue to work to move the situation forward. But to the parents, all of the air studies that have been done upstairs where the kids are, everything is absolutely fine. There's no danger sending your kids to school down here. Those are the facts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Warwick. Before I turn it over to Pat Sullivan, again, we also have our request through the MSBA, the Massachusetts School Building Authority, which we've been very successful. Well over $300 million in projects that have already been completed here in the city of Springfield, more money than Boston. So we have a request for that. We are going to build this neighborhood, a new Brightwood school that goes back into the 19th century. And they deserve that. And also Pat Sullivan will allude to that we have bids now, or I believe that are going out for some other work that we're doing again on the city side on this. So I'm going to turn it over to Pat Sullivan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. When the mayor took office, he called me down that first week and he gave me 3 charges. And he wanted the city to go green. He wanted the utility rates straightened out. They were always breaking the bank with the city. And figure out the Gerena Tunnel once and for all. And when we meet every week, that is one of the items that I give him a weekly or every other week update on. I think everyone got a little concerned with an EPA report, and they're going to be out here June 1st to answer those questions. When they came out here, that was at our invitation. We wanted the assistance to prioritize the repairs to Gerena, and it's been successful in that we got the money for the roof repairs. If you remember, just 5 years ago, water was pouring in through that skylight. We had birds flying in the building. It was not a pretty sight, and that has now been corrected. So they will be out to answer, but people need to realize that's a snapshot in time. It's a 1-day sampling that they did, so it does not really reflect all of the work, the $4.7 million that the city's been invested, but they will be out here to answer those concerns. The mayor and the city council have just appropriated $300,000. What we're going to be doing is removing the VCT tile and turning it in. Basically, it's going to look like a sidewalk, and that's what it always should have been. What's happening is you trap moisture, and that's why the tiles peel. So it only makes sense to just leave it as concrete. The staining we see behind us, the mayor directed me about 1.5 years ago. We painted it every summer. He says, Pat, you're going to stop painting it. I want the state to come down here because you paint it, and then it doesn't look like there's a problem. So again, that comes from those weekly meetings, and we work together, and the superintendent was on board with that because we all just want the tunnel fixed. And then just lastly, we're happy to work with the neighborhood groups. We're going to be working with the New North Council on strategy, and we've had a 30-year history of working with neighborhood councils, and we will work with the neighborhood council and working with all the residents in the North End to give them the information that they need. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And again, we look forward to seeing everyone June 1st. June 1st, 6 p.m., cafeteria. And I will have EPA officials here that will indicate the facts, not innuendos, not rumors, and we can all work together here. But the key is the state must release that $3 million in bonding and correct the situation going on with the membrane over Bernie Avenue. Then you can stop the penetration of water, and then my team will do our due diligence in correcting this issue. And before I turn it over to other speakers, the facts are right there, So with that, I'm going to turn it over to City Councilor Adam Gomez, who does a very good job representing the area. Then we'll close with some neighborhood activists that we continue to work together. City Councilor Adam Gomez.
Thank you, Mayor Sarno. Thank you, colleagues from the community, Dan Warwick, Pat Sullivan. I want to thank our community activist, Carmelo, for coming out. I also want to give a welcome to the residents that we're holding up, that walk through this tunnel every single day and understand what they're going through, that they're waiting for this press conference to finish. But honestly, it's important. I want to encourage our state legislature. I want to encourage our state leadership that this is in peril. This is something serious here for the North End. This is the poorest neighborhood in Massachusetts. I would love for you to take this just as serious as the community activists that meet on a weekly basis alongside with the New North Citizens Council, with Roman Roldan and with Jose Claudio. I believe that we are in a great direction here in the city of Springfield. I commend the efforts of everybody that came into collaboration to bring awareness once again. This is an issue that has been going on during Mayor Sarno's administration, before Mayor Sarno's administration, and I believe that it's important and it takes unity to get the job done. I appreciate everybody for taking the time to come down here to my ward and to instill the values of that we have a close-knit family and that we're going to stay united on this issue until we find some resolve. Thank you, and everybody have a good afternoon.
We're going to close out on behalf of the neighborhood, Jose Claudio, Vice President of New North Citizens Council. And again, we're trying to work hand in hand, and we'll continue to work hand in hand with Representative Carlos Gonzalez and Senator James Welch. But we have to make sure we keep the pressure on that $3 million bond is released so they can correct their issue, the state issue of the membrane on Bernie Avenue. And then we will continue to do our due diligence. So Jose Claudio from the New North Citizens Council.
Thank you, man. Thank you, everybody. It's important that we are here today to really, and the mayor for being picking this up and really asking, and Pat putting all the efforts to really get this going. This is not only a school, but it's also a neighborhood community space that we use for after-school program, for safe neighborhood, and it's key that it gets open and it gets ready the way it's supposed to be. But I like Adam says, you know, there's community leaders and everybody here, especially New North. We want to thank the mayor, Pat, and the superintendent, and even the community leaders that are really stepping up in unity to make sure that this work. We ask our state rep and our senator to please listen to the mayor and try to get this bond passed so that we could get this already done and over with so we could have our community space back. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And again, we wanted to get the facts out to the advocacy groups and the citizens, and they were invited to this also. We're on the same page, but it's important that the facts are told and not rumor, innuendos, and finger pointing. We want to solve the problem. And again, I look forward with the other officials and with EPA to be out here June 1st. And again, Superintendent and Mr. Sullivan have clarified about the EPA and the air quality levels on it. So the facts. Certain comments that have been made have been really taken out of content on it. We were trying to solve this problem. My administration has a track record, a proven track record of investment in Gerena School and in the north end of Springfield. So right now the ball is in the state's court. Fix that membrane, stop the water penetration. My team is ready to rock and roll to take care of this problem right here on it. So I think it's important we clarify that. And I also want to thank Minnie Marrero from my office. She's been the eyes and ears for this neighborhood area for many, many years. She tells me the good, the bad, the ugly, and how we're going to tackle it. So that's important. With that, I don't know if you have any other questions, but I really appreciate you coming, and I hope that you're able to come to the June 1st meeting.
Sorry, let that man go.
Yeah.
What is the bond, like, what does it do besides the membrane, or is it the membrane? And could you
Well,
explain-
the bond will do there's an area just under I-91 at the Main Street entrance that needs to be addressed of the tunnel, and then the membrane here on Bernie Avenue it will address.
And I know that, we've written to the governor, we've written
sorry,
to our state representative, state senator, and I know that Welchie and Carlos, they know when they're trying to fight for this. So we're on record. We've written on these things for a number of years, but it's just come to a situation now that membrane gets fixed. We can do our due diligence here. So the state push, and also to the governor, and again, the MSBA, the treasurer, they've been absolutely fantastic. But I wanted to make sure that the facts are there, that people can read, and it's bilingual. It's in English, and it's in Spanish. So the residents know exactly what is going on, what we have done, what we're looking to do, and they know the facts. Because I don't care about all the noise that's being made. My thing is about getting the job done. Get it fixed. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mayor.